Well, hi guys. It is Sunday the 11th, I think, of May. I've been trying to figure out how to throw some videos together of what's been going on the last 2 weeks, and it's a cluster. So I'll just do it this way. Kind of as you can see, I got 4 more sheets of OSB put up. They were nailed from the top about halfway down because I was having a hard time on that ledge screwing that in because I have vertigo. For the most part, I think I got a little bit on that last sheet here to do, and it's done. But as I said, I wanted to get light stuff put up there that takes up a lot of space on the floor, such as the 2 auger boots, and like this radiator top that was off the 95. That's all been done. A lot of work on other stuff is taking place. I'll try to explain this in a sort of a fashion that'll make sense. This fuel tank, 50-gallon fuel tank, I was at an auction and it just kind of caught my eye. It's a 50-gallon tank. Also has a brand spanking new pump filter hose on it. And I give $125 for the tank the way it sits. Well, what I didn't know was, until I went to load it up and grabbed the whole of it, it had approximately 10 inches of fuel, 9-10 inches of fuel in the tank. Because somebody inadvertently, I don't know why, the bottom of the pump has a plastic tube that's extendable. Well, they extended it out to full length, measured the depth of the tank, and cut the pipe off at that length, even though it's extendable and you can raise it up. Problem was, they didn't account for that pipe nipple sticking up. So, however tall that is, 8-9 inches, whatever, that's how far that was off the bottom. And I was quite surprised by this. Well, a few weeks later, I acquired a tank with some other stuff I had bought at a sale. Right there. And I gave $25 for 2 things. Gave the one to Jacob. And that was on the back of the truck. And I went to pick it up with a skid steer, and the skid steer wouldn't budge it. That tank is made out of 1/4-inch plate. And is extremely heavy. Well, come to find out, it was full of fuel. So between the tank, the yellow tank back there, the tank in here, plus 25-gallon in the 1850 and 20-gallon in the 1550, the rest of it is in the tank on the back of this truck. I had to filter it 3 times. It was filtered 3 times. It'll be 4th when it goes into a tractor. Okay, so basically about $500 worth of fuel for free. Yeah, that helps my bottom line tremendously. Now, I'll go back in a minute, but I'll show you this. This is a power steering line off the 1850. And the flared end, you can see, is broke off. And it's broke off at an angle. And it's up through there. And it's going to fix it. But right here, there's a big spot of braze underneath. And I thought, nope, that's not, no. And I thought about cutting this off, reflaring it, you know, but if it's been fatigued enough that it's cracked and broke it, that whole end is fatigued that way. So I decided against it. So hang on just a second. Okay. On this 1850, a week ago yesterday, Saturday, I was across the road working ground. I had gone with the 770 and the International disc, which you really haven't seen yet. I'll talk about that in a minute. And the tractor just was acting goofy in the way it was running. So brought it back over, parked it. I hooked the 1850 to the vibra chisel, went across the road and started working ground with it. I started at the road, went back, got back behind the house, and there is some incredibly hard ground over there. And I got over into the long part and made 4 or 5 rounds, and the vibra chisel just literally would not go into the ground anymore. I went over the same strip like 3 times and it just wouldn't go in. So I brought the tractor back over. I dropped the vibra chisel right where it's sitting. The disc was sitting about where it is, and pulled the tractor up, hooked to it, got everything hooked up, hooked the hydraulic lines up, come forward, and I happened to look down at the front wheels, and they were just coated with oil, and I could see oil running off of it. I was like, uh-oh. And I had batteries died again. I had broke that fitting off the line right there. Well, when you break a hose 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, you ain't getting one made. And you can't go buy it because it's got special ends on it, you know. Flared end this way, JIC the other end. So you're not just going to go get a hose made around here. That put it off to Monday. I spent 4 hours going to 4 different places to get a hose made, and the last one finally had the fittings we needed. I drove from my house to McHenry's, which is about 10 miles. Then 10 miles down to Milford to look for a place that didn't have them, and they sent me to another place. They didn't have them, which brought me back all the way to Blanchester, which is 17 miles, and then up to Wilmington, which is another 22 miles to get a hose. And I had a hose in my hand at 1 o'clock, I think. Came home, got it on the tractor, put about 3.5 gallon in the hydraulics. Got her fired up and running. Everything's going good. Took the international disc, went over and got her worked up. And pretty much called it a day because they were talking big amounts of rain. I just wanted to get that broke up, you know, for the first time. Fast forward a few days, it dried out. Went over with the disc again. Got everything hit twice. Came back over, dropped the hair or the disc, hooked the Harrow-Gadder up, Harrow-Gaddered it. And a day or so after that, we got inch of rain, and we've had approximately 3 inches since then. So it's been chaotic, and I've been trying to figure out how to make this video make sense with the stuff I had, and it just wasn't working. Now there's plenty of ground around me planted. Okay. Neighbor came in. Can't think back. It was the day, the week before I worked ground. They came in, knifed in anhydrous, came in with a turbo till in the morning, went over it, it was wet, came back that afternoon, hit it, let it lay there a day, they came back the next day and planted it. So that's all corn. There's ground, a couple 100 acres down the road planted, field on the other side of that tree line back there, that's planted. There's a lot of ground around here planted, in soybeans and corn. It's kind of like this morning, I got up, my house was 58 degrees, so I had to turn the furnace on, get it warmed back up. There's a story behind this disc. This is one of last year's projects. Dad's disc. A tree had fell on it when it was in transport and bent the frame all to pieces. And I told him I'd find another one, get the frame, and switch everything. I bought this at an auction last year. The gangs for it are laying over there. The front gangs discs are okay. There's one broken, I think. But the back, they're all broke. Literally, they're all broken. So I figured it was going to be a quick and easy project. And it's a 37 or a 47 disc. Well, this happens to be a 370 frame. And I pulled Dad's up, unbolted the whole gang, took that big bolt out, took these out, dropped them out. And the first ones I put on were the back ones. Well, they went right in lickety-split. Front ones, the difference, the biggest way to tell a 37 or a 47 from a 370 or a 470 frame is this angle iron. 37 or 47, it's made out of this 3x3. If it's a 370 470, it's 3x4. And this arm right here doesn't bolt in this position. It goes from there to here, and you can see it. right back there to that, where that's bolted in. Well, these are moved forward. So, that puts this right there. So both these front gangs, I had to break them loose, disassemble, and move everything, move this one over one, put it all back together. And that was both sides. And of course, I had put it back together and tried it, and that bearing was bad. So it got a new one put in. Also, it got 2 brand spanking new tires put on it. You can see the little rubber tits are all over it. First disc I ever put brand new tires on. I ever did. The mold, or that white disc over there, had new ones on it when I bought it. But it was about 4 days worth of work to take this disc apart, Dad's disc apart, get it all put back together. I put new hoses on the cylinder, and now it's a real good disc. Now when I worked that ground up the last time, disced it up, it was wet, and both sides that's plugged up on it. Yeah. Now, last thing I want to talk about is this. There's been some of you said I need a column mulcher. Well, I own one. I've owned it since '95, I guess. But I guess it's been about 8 years ago. My cousin asked me if he could use this. He needed it. And I took it down to him, and been there ever since. Well, he bought a 24-foot one, so he doesn't need this. So I went down the other day and brought her home. It's a 12-foot Bearcat column mulcher. Probably made by Dunham Lear. You know, just saying. But it's kind of, it does a really good job. But as far as the finish goes, I rather prefer the Harrow-Gadder with that color packer behind it. It just makes beautiful seed bed. But like I said, everything across the road got worked up. When you have the opportunity to get on ground, especially that ground, early on in the year, and can get it worked up, you better do it, because you're not that opportunity. That's the first. I'll put it this way. This is the first time I can remember. The first part of May, being able to get on that ground, get it worked up and finished, to where it's got, it's leveled up, harrogated, looks good. So I'm counting my lucky stars on that. Oh, look at here. Yep, I know what that's off of. And how did that break off that Harrow? Been a nice flat tire. Yeah. Let you here. I can see that. But, always got to look around as you do things. But you kind of notice there's some things missing, and I'd moved all the gravity beds on wheels back to the barn, or back to the woods. Another thing I acquired was a AC 4-row planter set on 30-inch. And you're going to ask, why'd you do that? Well, reality of 20-inch rows around here. As far as corn goes, I'm the only one doing it, or been doing it, and there's nobody else around here I know of with a 20-inch corn head. And if something goes wrong with the 95, which it did last time I used it with the corn head, I had problems. So traded around, got that AC planter to plant 30-inch row corn. I have the picker, I have a corn head. If something goes wrong with my combine and I can't use my corn head, then I can get just about anybody around here to shell it. So that's why I traded for that. Now, stuff gone. Yes, I sold Jacob the flat elevator and my 6-inch auger. Things have changed. I don't need either one. So this is going to get cleaned up. That head's getting moved and tree gone. All this is getting cleaned up. I'll put it that way. So is this. Stuff's getting moved around. Oh yes, this is another plow I acquired. It's a 3242 Oliver 414. It's got really big coulters, really good moldboards, and like new shins and shares. So it's good. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay. As you can see, Dad's truck is here and not over there anymore. Well, charged the battery up, put fuel in it. It has no sparkle out of it. So I got to work on this at some point. We've gotten 3.5 inches of rain in the last week. Today's Sunday, tomorrow night, Tuesday, we're supposed to get a bunch more. And it's kind of, as I said, it was odd. This ground is usually the first I can hit, but it's wetter this year. I don't understand how, but I was able to get this over here worked up first. The heck is this? Oh no. But with all these trees gone, I have 2 stumps here to deal with. Actually 3, but one over there is out of the way. You can see I've come closer with the disc. There's 2 stumps right down there I need to take care of. The ground across the road, as you see, has been worked up. It's been Harrow-Gadder, and it's starting to turn green again. That tells you, yeah, it's been over a week since I did this. And if you kind of notice about where that pine tree is over there, if you look at the field, you can kind of see a line down through here toward this corner where it broke up a lot finer, and it's got a little different color to it than the other side of it. But it is what it is. The tile I put in over there where the wet spot always was is dried up now. It's working fantastically. Over by the trees where I run the subsoiler, that's another story. I probably shouldn't have done that, because I ran a pass down and one up beside it, and now it's wet down through there, one end to the back corner back there. So that's of my own failure. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. Like I say, there's been an awful lot going on this spring. Things I've already done. Right now I'm in a holding pattern till it dries up again. And kind of contrary to what Cole the Corn Stars video just talked about getting everything planted before May, or the 1st of May, that doesn't hold true here. If you plant it real early and it gets cold and wet here, it's not going to do good. In fact, you'll see that, you won't see the yields you will from stuff planted a little bit later. So, yeah, I don't agree with that statement he made. But that's him, not me. He can do as he pleases. It's his money. I just know what I can do and can't do on this ground. And I'm seriously contemplating getting burn down sprayed over here and use my no-till planter, no-till drill on it. I just don't know yet. I haven't crossed that bridge yet. So, yeah, a lot of stuff's been going on here, guys. A lot of stuff that it's hard to make videos of. Oh, another auction buy. There's 16 or 18 Yetter no-till colors, all complete. Put liquid fertilizer on. I give $25 for the pallet. Yeah, the whole thing, 25 bucks, what you see there. And there's 16 or 18 of them on it. So I thought that was a bargain. There are multiple things here in the barn that were auction buys that I don't even know if you can see. There's two 12-4 16-1 SLs. They're new tires on rims. I bought them. There are 6 brand new 12.5 16 flotation tires, 14 plies. So I got dirt cheap. Couple of 750 15 14 ply tires on 1/4 inch thick industrial 6-lug rims, split rims. Yeah, them's good and heavy. Found a pair of 750/20 drill tires back here for, I think they were 25 bucks. One's up, one needs a tube. No big deal. Because if you need one, there's like $300 a piece now for the tires. Yeah, lots of stuff been going on, guys. It's just trying to figure out how to put this all together. It's hard for me to figure it out. So as of today, the 11th of April, May, 11th of May, at least I think it is, Sunday. Yeah, 4 more sheets up, nailed, screwed in. The shelves are basically done to this point. I've loaded them up. Got more stuff to go here and there. Just got to have time. And as soon as it gets dry enough, I'll be in the field. So I wanted to get this to this point, and I've got it there. So we're in good shape now. So I hope this answers a lot of questions for you. What have you been doing? You know, why videos so wonky? It's just hard to do sometimes to try to get everything put together to where it makes sense. So I hope this does. So guys, we will see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time, guys.